All right, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for, a couple of people out there just like you and just like me. All right, I apologize for this video in advance because I'm going to be talking about Dave Grohl and Taylor Swift in one video. No, don't click out. Don't just hold on. Don't do it yet. All right. New music alert from David Knopfler, Pro Gifts. All right. Here's the deal. I'm cool for liking David Knopfler. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm super cool for liking David Knopfler. If you don't like him, then you're not cool. All right. Like his brother, but I would say he writes songs that are a little more interesting, but in some ways, he's just this underappreciated, super talented guy who over the years, people always say, yeah, I like David Knopfler. All right. But, Mark put out an album earlier this year and, of course, did really well. It mostly internationally didn't do anything here in the United States other than all the classic rock outlets said, ooh, he's got a new album out there. And did they play it? No, they didn't play it. And of course, they're not going to touch David Knopfler, who I discovered back in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. He had an album that was called Lips Against Steel. All right. And that was the first one I really got into. And then I've kind of followed his career along. And Crow Gifts came out. And I was like, this is great. I'm going to get it just so I can tell people about it. I think this is the first hard copy album of David's I've ever purchased. And I'm glad I did, just so I can put it in a video. So there you go. I'm cool because I like David. That's it. That's the tweet. All right. So David Grohl, he's a different Dave, may have found himself. Of course, he just goes by Dave. No one calls him David Grohl. Dave Grohl may have found himself on the wrong side of the Taylor Swifties. So the Foo Fighters, right? They're playing London Stadium on Saturday night. And on the same night, Taylor Swift is over at Wembley Stadium on her Eras tour. No, I know it's Eras, but I'm just saying it's an Eras tour. And it seems Grohl took a moment out of the Foo concert. The word Foo is just a fun word. So they even say here, he took a moment out of the Foo concert to take a swipe at Taylor Swift. Fan shot footage posted to social media shows Grohl telling his audience, hey, man, you don't want to suffer the wrath of Taylor Swift, before adding, so we like to call our tour the Eras Tour. All right, give him credit here for being somewhat funny. We've had more than a few eras and more than a few bleeping errors. I mean, these guys, they can never stop F-bombing. They're relentless. He says just a couple of errors. Then he seemed to go after Taylor's performance, noting, that's because we actually play live. Well, again, he's going to incur the wrath of, in fact, he may get a phone call from Joe Biden. Imagine how that would go. Hey, Dave, I heard you making fun of my top campaign donor fundraiser, Taylor Swift. No, you can't do that. I don't know. I don't know how to. Hey, man, come on, man, you can't do that. So David Grohl says, you guys like raw, live rock and roll. You came to the right place. Of course, he added another F-bomb in front of place because that's how these guys talk. The Foo's show also featured an appearance by Shane Hawkins, son of late drummer Taylor Hawkins, who took over at the drum kit for a performance of My Hero. Oh, that's probably the song if, you give me sodium pentothal or you do some waterboarding, I'm going to say, okay, My Hero is all right. That's what I'll do. I'll probably admit it. Foo Fighters bring their tour to Cardiff, Wales, or Cardiff, on June 25th. A list of complete dates can be found at foofighters.com if you want more info. So, Taylor Swift gets made fun of by Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl, the king of rock, and Taylor Swift, the queen of pop. And the media, they're probably, again, going to tell, hey, Dave, you can't do that. You can't make fun of Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift Um, she's a kingmaker. She's going to decide the next presidential election. If you start dumping on her because you're accusing her of not performing her music live, right? That's going to have huge repercussions. I mean, two people might not buy tickets for Taylor Swift. And just she is like this thing right now. She like kind of like a virus. Taylor Swift is a lot like a virus. She's just spreading rapidly, and there is no cure for this. Okay. Maybe I need to call Pfizer and say, hey, you got something to take care of this Taylor Swift plague that's out there. But they probably, again, they're not going to do it because they advertise. I'm sure they're on all the ticket stubs brought to you by Pfizer. Make sure you're up to date. Make sure you've had your latest booster. All right. So, yeah, that's my exciting video on Taylor Swift and Dave Grohl. I hope at least it can be mildly entertaining. I don't know. There's only so much you can do with this material. Just I hope you take away David Knopfler from this video. Crow gifts, not crows, just crow gifts. I'm making errors. This is the errors video, like the Eras tour. This is the errors video, brought to you not by anyone who's trying to do damage to the population. All right. This is just me and David Knopfler, though, again, I don't get any money from any of these people that I promote. I just like to promote music and on occasion tell people about it. So there you have it. I need to have another coffee. All right, folks. God bless everyone. Pray for peace in the Middle East and around the world and in your own heart. Jesus is the only way. Don't forget that, because there's no other way. And if you want to know more, reach out to me over on Patreon, also YouTube memberships, and the incredible Buy Me a Coffee, which has been very caffeinated lately. So I appreciate that, and I will see you all soon.